In your eyes I read such strange things. In your lips deny it's true. Oh, will your answer really change things and making me blue? Well, I'm afraid someday you'll leave me, saying, baby, can't we still be friends? If you go, you know you'll need me. All in life on you depends. Am I guessing that you love me? Dreaming dreams of dream of me. I'm confessing that I love you over and again. I'm confessing that I love you over again. Whoa! Hello, music room. Hello, folks. Thank you guys for closing out your holiday weekend with us here. And it's been a very eventful holiday weekend for myself, starting on the actual 4th of July. I was playing back in New York City, where we drove from yesterday. And we played on the 4th of July. And I played at Louis Armstrong's house in the Bronx, which has been converted into a museum. And we played in Louis Armstrong's garden. And allegedly, in heavy quotations, his birthday is the 4th of July. That's like what he told people, and I think when he celebrated it. But if you ask some sort of historian, they'll say, oh, actually, his birthday, there was a birth certificate in the nun's house where he was raised that says August 6th. But as far as Louis Armstrong was concerned, he said July 4th. So that's, they had cake at the gig. So that's what I'm considering his birthday. So I've been playing some Louis Armstrong all weekend in honor of his birthday. And our wonderful opening act gave us a little bit of St. James Infirmary, right? He took us to New Orleans, so I figured we'd start there. That was a great tune that Louis used to sing. I'm confessing that I love you, and I sang that recently with the great Stephen Feifke, he of Lexington, Massachusetts fame. So, good friend of mine. He has a great big band arrangement of that one. We just sang at Lincoln Center not too long ago. So we are celebrating the release of my most recent album that I have here. The name of the record is Third Time's the Charm. I've been playing the music from this record all over the world for the last year or so. So we will definitely get into that fare, but I thought it would be fun to open things up with just a couple standards. So you heard a little bit of Louis Armstrong. We're going to continue now with a song from one of my favorite composers, a great jazz pianist as well. A few of his tunes became standards. This is one that Frank Sinatra sang about and recorded back in the day, but also one of my favorite singers growing up, the great Lou Rawls, has an incredible live album where he takes all of these tunes and just swings them. So like he does The Girl from Ipanema, but he does it as a swing, not as a bossa nova. And he just, one of my favorite R&B and jazz singers. So we're going to do a tune for you now the other way. It's usually swing, but we're going to make it Brazilian. We're going to do a samba version of Michel Legrand's tune, Watch What Happens. Mm-hmm. Maybe just do that as an intro to last bars. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let someone start believing in you. Let him hold out his hand. Let him touch you and watch what happens. Want someone who can look in your eyes and see into your heart. Let him find you and watch what happens. Cold, no, I won't believe your heart is cold. Oh, maybe just afraid to be broken again. Whoa, so let someone with a deep love to give that deep love to you, and what magic you'll see with someone who cares like me, someone who cares like me. Oh, let someone start believing in you. Well, let him hold your hand, let him touch you, and darling, watch what happens. Want someone who can look into your eyes and see in your heart. Let him find you and watch what happens. Cold, no, I won't believe your heart is cold. Maybe just afraid to be broken again. Whoa, let someone give his whole heart to you, and what magic you'll see. Let someone who cares, someone who cares like me. We're all gonna care about Sterling Koza on the piano over here. Go ahead, Sterling. someone start believing in you. Let him hold out his hand. Let him touch you and watch what happens. Want someone who can look in your eyes, oh, and see into your heart. Let him find you and watch what happens. Cold, no, I won't believe your heart is cold. Oh, maybe you're just afraid to be broken again. Whoa, let someone with a deep love to give that deep love to you, and what magic you'll see. Let someone give his heart, someone who cares like me. What magic you will see. Someone give his heart. La 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 someone who believes in me. Thank you very much. We're going to go ahead and we're going to do the aforementioned title track of the recent album. The record is called Third Time's the Charm, and if you haven't heard of it, or you haven't heard of me, or you haven't heard of just about anything here, it is basically my third album that I released as a leader, and also I am Benny Benack the third generation jazz musician. So my father, Junior, he plays the tenor sax. My grandfather, Benny Senior, he was a trumpet player. So when it came time to make the third album, I thought the title was just sitting right out there in front of me. I might as well just, swing at the softball. And so I wrote a tune to go with it. And a lot of the songs that I write that are vocal numbers really, I always say they kind of sound like they were in some musical from the, Tin Pan Alley that you never heard of. I mean, all of my favorite composers are like Irving Berlin and the Gershwin brothers and Cole Porter. So when I sit down to write a vocal number, I always try and write something that sounds like it's coming from the Great American Songbook. So this is kind of this album's version of that. This is entitled Third Time's the Charm. You don't succeed, these words you should heed. No cause for alarm. Stick with the chase, get back in the race. Third time's the charm. Your dreams are ripe for taking. Mistakes you keep on making. Well, don't you sell the farm. Stick with your heart. No one's right from the start. Third time's a charm. Well, shooters gotta shoot their shot. Even the Boston Celtics, they miss a lot, but not this year. They won. You're willing to fail, life's lessons will avail. Answers to the knot you've got. So don't be doubting the wisdom I'm espousing. I really mean no harm, 'cause I may have been wrong, but I learned all along. Third time's the charm. it's a lie. If you're willing to fail, life's lessons will avail. The answers to the times you've got. So don't be doubting all this wisdom I'm espousing. I really mean no harm. 'Cause I may have been wrong, but I learned all along. Third time's the charm. Well, let me tell ya, third time's the charm. One more once. Third time's the charm. Oh yeah. All right. Thank you. That one is available on both CD and vinyl. And I've been saying this, I've been beating this drum on all of my gigs, and some of my friends were with me last month when I played in Scullers in Boston. And it's interesting that, like, for instance, last night we played in Falmouth on the Cape, and it was like an older crowd. And none of the older people who were around when vinyl actually was a thing the first time, they like look at it and they're like, "This is bizarre. Why do you have vinyl here?" We gave away our record player a long time ago, and they buy CDs because it's like still in the car, or like an old computer that still miraculously has a CD player in it. And actually, I do a lot of concerts like in universities and a lot of clinics for young people, and those are the ones in droves that, like, young people don't want anything to do with CDs, but they'll buy a vinyl. And in some cases, it's like a 19-year-old college student that's saying, "Oh, I don't even have a record player, but I just think it looks really cool, and I want to take one home." So, I don't know. I would just say hold on to everything, you know? Don't get rid of your CD players or anything, because they'll come back again. It seems like, you got to have it all now. So we're going to continue with some music from the album. And before we do that, I want to introduce you to this wonderful band that made the trip with me from New York City this weekend. And I believe it was a debut on the Cape for some of these folks. Sterling, he's big in Martha's Vineyard, so they love him over there. But first time here at the Music Room on the piano. We met when he moved to New York City to do his master's at the Manhattan School of Music, where the rest of us spent some time in school. But he did his undergrad at Eastman in Rochester, another great music conservatory. So he's got very well reputed on the piano, and quickly making a name for himself on the East Coast, originally from kind of Sacramento area over there on the West Coast. But we're very happy to report he just bought a brand new Subaru. So if you need to fit a whole band in his car, drums, upright bass, put the seat down, he's got you covered. And extra points to Sterling, because we came, I told you we were like an hour away or whatever, and we had some time to kill this afternoon, so we got lunch at Captain Parker's, was that what it was, Captain Parker's Pub? World famous clam chowder, let me tell you. I got a big bowl of it. It was fantastic. So even with killing time for lunch, we still had some time, and we drove around to like 4 different beach entrances, and they were all like $20 for parking. And I was like, "No, Sterling, I refuse to pay $20 to like sit on the beach for a half hour." So he's very ingenuitive, and he pulled into like a private street, private way, and there were many signs that said like, "Don't park here unless you're supposed to." And Sterling risked it all, and he said, "You know what? We're getting this blanket. We're sitting on the beach. We may only have 20 minutes, but damn it, we're gonna have a vacation." And we got away with it. So the Subaru is good to go. No tickets. Yeah, that's right. If it's Sterling's the one you want, I swear. I told him it was against the rules, but we made it. We had some romantic time on the beach together. It was lovely, and we're going to be making the drive back to the city together after the show. So we've become thick as thieves this weekend. That's Sterling Koza on the piano. Give it up for him. And I say Sterling and I have kind of had a romantic couples getaway weekend because our bass player and our drummer are actually married. So they are a romantic couple. So we went, we got to give them their space. They did their own beach time. Me and Sterling didn't want to intrude on that. On the bass, she is originally from Helsinki, Finland, and made her way to New York via the Sibelius Academy, their music conservatory there had an exchange program with Manhattan School of Music. So Kaisa joined us in our master's program, and Joe and Kaisa got to know each other there, and Joe and I were roommates up until Kaisa stole him right away from me, and now they got married and live together, so very happy for them. And Kaisa and her band just recorded another album back in New York City just a few days ago, so she's got music coming out. She's touring all the time with her projects across Europe, and so therefore, what a coup it is to have Kaisa Mansivu here at the Music Room this afternoon. Give it up for her. And Kaisa's better half on the drums, and also my better half, really, on the drums, because he's been in my band the longest time, and he's usually the one that I hit up to drive, but we had a luxury this time. We took 2 cars to Cape this weekend, so we got to stretch our legs, and this guy's been all over the world with me. Let's see, who else is on his illustrious resume? Oh, a gentleman by the name of Tony Bennett. Perhaps you've heard of him. Joe got to... he got to record with Tony Bennett and actually Lady Gaga on the last album that they did together. So we're always happy to have Joe. He knows how to play behind singers, you know, and he's my buddy. Give it up for the great Joe Perry over there. So we're gonna dust off another tune from my album here, and there's a recent documentary that just came out. It was actually like the second one that's come out in the last few years, about one of the great jazz trumpeters, Mr. Roy Hargrove. If anybody's ever heard of that name, to me, he's one of my heroes, and he was a part of the generation they called Young Lions in the 90s. All of these record labels, Verve, Concord, Sony, they were throwing all this money into these young 20-something jazz musicians that were wearing suits and ties and playing swing, because the music had, prior to that, had really veered into rock fusion and in a bunch of different directions. But these young guys came along and they were wearing suits and ties and they were playing standards, and they became very popular. So Roy Hargrove was sort of one of the big young lions at his time, and he became a legend on the trumpet, and he was a staple in the New York City jazz scene when I was coming up. You'd always see him in the clubs every night, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. Everyone else went home. He was still there at a jam session teaching 18-year-olds the right chords to the songs. I mean, he was really, really a mentor to so many of us. And he passed away a couple of years ago, way too young. I mean, he might have been barely 50 years old. He had some health problems, but his legacy endures. So this is a tune that I wrote for Roy Hargrove, and one of the things that he was most prominently responsible for in the music was combining other elements of Black American music and really making the music relatable to the next generation of young musicians in the way that he had a funk band called the RH Factor that put together a lot of different styles of music, and he actually was one of the first people to kind of mix together hip-hop grooves and jazz music. So this is one with a little bit of a funk groove going out to Roy Hargrove. We recorded it on the album. It's aptly titled Roy-like. Thank you very much. That one goes out to Roy Hargrove. We are going to do a song in tribute now to another one of my heroes, and he's not a trumpet player, but a great singer. Of course, Mr. Frank Sinatra. I don't think a show of mine ever goes by where I'm not going to do a song of Frank Sinatra because he's one of those guys that's like the most recorded ever. So if you're looking for a version of any standard, 9 times out of 10, Frank Sinatra's already done a version of it, and it's usually my favorite. So we're going to do a ballad now that Frank Sinatra, apparently, he had a hand in writing. Now, there's only a couple songs in his illustrious career that he actually gets songwriter credit for, one of which is I'm a fool to want you, such a fool to need you, which supposedly was written about Ava Gardner, which was the one woman that sort of tamed his wild soul and broke his heart, as it were. I don't know if he actually wrote the song, but his name's on the chart, so he gets some credit for that. And this next one was actually written about his daughter, Nancy Sinatra, that, they had their very famous duet, Something Stupid. I know I stand in line until you think you have the time to spend an evening with me. I'm not going to do that song. Something Stupid. Yeah, you'd have to be Nancy Sinatra, Betsy. I don't have the other part. That's a duet. So we're going to do another song about Nancy Sinatra, and it's a beautiful ballad entitled Nancy with the Laughing Face. And we're going to ask Sterling Koza, with his beautiful face, to give us a little piano intro and set things up for us for a lovely ballad. If I don't see her each day, I miss her. Gee, what a thrill each time I kiss her. Believe me, I've got a case of Nancy with the laughing face. She takes the winter and she makes it summer. Well, the old summer could take lessons from her. Picture a tomboy Have you ever heard mission bells ringing? Well, she'll give you the very same glow. When she speaks, you would think she was singing. Just hear her say hello. I swear to goodness, you can't resist her. Sorry for you, she has no sister. No angel could my Nancy with the laughing face. Once again for Mr. Sterling Koza on the piano. Have you ever heard mission bells ringing? Well, she'll give you the very same bell. When she speaks, you would think she was singing. Just hear her say hello. I swear to goodness, you can't resist her. Sorry for you, she has no sister. No angel could replace my Nancy. Wiggy the How about it for Mr. Joe Perry on the drums, Kaiser Mansivu on the bass, Sterling Koza over there on the piano, yours truly, Benny Benack. Once again, thank you to the music room for having us. Thank you to our hip opening act. Getting you guys ready. We're taking a break. We got another set of music coming up. So I'm going to come around, make the rounds, say hello to all my friends here. And if you're a new friend, say hello to me. I would love to stay in touch. And I know there's a lot going on this weekend. You could beat the traffic heading back to where you got to go. You could be out on the beach, but you came to hang out with us. So I really appreciate it. Would love to say hello. Once again, I'll reiterate, we've got some merchandise for sale up here if you're enjoying the music.